welcome back to Rugby Rodeo with me, Jess Breach, and my fellow podcast crime member. Sorry, yeah. Ellie Gildon.
What we're getting up to.
We are fresh off a fallow week, so we're going to talk all things no game, which was actually quite fun. I had a good weekend. And then get into more listeners' questions because you guys love them. And then we will have a fun little quiz. So make sure you stay tuned until the latter end of the podcast, because otherwise you won't know about the little quiz that we're going to play against each other. But
of course.
Ellie, how was fallow week training, and what did you think of it?
Well, first of all, for like people listening, I think we best actually explain what a fallow week is. So it's just a break in the tournament. It's the same in the men's as the women's, and it's just when there's no games that weekend, bit of a reconnect. I think I kind of always think, it's a bit of a rest weekend, but it did not feel like a rest week. It did not feel like a rest week. Training was very hard. Obviously, the sun has been shining, which probably
you can tell by our tans.
Yeah, we have got a bit of a tan.
If you're watching,
maybe just look at
you can tans. Feel our glow through the listens, like through the speakers.
But yeah, it was it was a good week. Lots of meetings, and fixing up after two very exciting but tough games as well, which I think has been really good for the group. And then on Thursday we had a really hard training session in the sun, but all of our family came down, which was super nice.
If you haven't yet seen it, head over to the Red Roses Instagram and you'll see that our lovely friends and family got to come in and watch us train, and then we all could have some lunch together, and then Mitch did a little meeting, which was really, really, really nice. I think for friends and family, really, really heartfelt meeting, and
I think it gave him good insight as well. And it wasn't just like he hadn't really changed the meeting to accommodate for friends and family to be there. It was still performance based, but then he brought like a nice personal touch, saying how much obviously the family members mean to us as players, but also mean to him coaching us as the Red Roses. So yeah, it was super nice.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think it was actually, I found it beneficial that our friends and family got to watch, so they knew actually when we got home and were like, I'm so tired, or I've had a really hard, they can understand. Because I think when they were watching it, they were like, that was tough.
Yeah, I hope so. After the session, right, because it was boiling, we did a lot of running.
Sorry, just to give context, we're saying it's boiling. It's like 18 to 20 degrees. Like we haven't even hit the heights of summer.
We haven't acclimatized.
Yeah, fair.
So at the end, we have what's called Kaizen. So that's basically when you can work on individual skills. That might be short passes, long passes, kicking, high balls, whatever it is.
Tackling.
But it got to the end and I literally just sparkled on the floor. I was so tired. And needed to cool down with a wet towel over my face. And I don't know, when you've got that feeling that someone's watching you, for whatever reason, I sat up and brought the flannel off my face, and my mum was running on the pitch with her phone, coming to take a picture of me. I was like, get off the pitch. We're still training. We're still going.
Oh, Alison.
But yeah, it was really nice. And then we all had food together as well. What was it, like burrito?
It was burrito, yeah. Which was really nice. They brought like a little van in for all the... Yeah, and there was people's nieces and nephews, people's children. So yeah, it was super nice. And I just think it gave that relaxed feel to the fallow week, but also the session was really hard.
Yeah, there was still the intensity there, definitely. And also we, when people come to watch us, whether it is family members or just fans and people of the public media, whatever it is, those extra eyes, you want to perform well and you want to show them the intensity that you train at, because imagine we didn't train very hard and then we'd come home like, we're so tired, and they'd say, you don't do anything in training, you just do cartwheels and stuff. No, it was really nice to have them in overall.
Would you prefer to go 5 games on the bounce, or do you like having the week off in between? Because obviously we only have 1 week, where the men have 2 weeks. They go 2 weeks on, 1 week, 2 weeks on.
I think I'd like to go 3 games and then fallow, because you kind of getting into the groove. Obviously there's lots of different combinations within the team, so both games almost feel like different games.
And maybe so separate.
So I probably would have liked another week to keep the consistency, but it was still good that we were there. And obviously I've looked at the weather. I don't think next weekend's as nice as this weekend. So I feel grateful that we did have that weekend to just be out there, be in the sun, do whatever we wanted to do and chill out, which wasn't playing in Cork, which is obviously the next one. But how about you? Because obviously you had a good weekend. I've seen on Instagram, dressed up all fancy. So how was it?
Yeah, it was really nice. It was it actually isn't Zoe Harrison's birthday yet, otherwise I would be giving her a shout out, but her birthday is on Monday, but we decided to celebrate it in the fallow weekend, just more time to enjoy it. So went out for dinner on Friday night, got all dressed up, which was super cute. Just makes me feel normal. I know that sounds weird, and people who are listening normal might want to understand that a bit more, but obviously every day we're like a rugby player, and we are obviously diligent and dedicated to performance, and I think sometimes it's really nice just to switch off and get away from it. And not even, I don't think we spoke about rugby once, that there was friends there that don't play rugby, and I just think that's really nice as well, that you can have different conversations and just actually feel really switched off. And then stayed in London that night, and then just chilled for the rest of the weekend. Went on some really nice dog walks with Archie. I actually went to a recovery place, which was like an open lake, which also had some saunas, which were just done up Romany style caravans, which were really cool, and they were coal burner, and they were massive, and they had like massive windows that you could see the lake, so when you were in there, so it was really, really nice. I went with Arch, and it was really refreshing. Went into the lake, and it was just really nice. I felt recovered even after, like, I think I was on the Friday and we'd left camp on Thursday, and I just was like, I feel really nice.
And so let's touch on recovery a little bit more then, because recovery, I think, is probably overlooked because everyone sees us perform, but the importance of recovering, and that doesn't necessarily mean physically. Obviously, you're talking a little bit about the physical side of, sauna and ice baths and swimming, but also recoveries mentally and emotionally, switching off and finding the balance. And I think that's what the Fallow Week allows, is that switch off and that time to recover. But I do think, in such a big year, or big 2 years that both of us have had, the importance of recovery is probably grown and grown. And like I said, what I'm getting from that, I wasn't even thinking about the physical recovery that you're getting from going to the lake. I'm thinking mentally, you're feeling really switched off and really present, and that's super important coming into the next block of games.
Yeah, definitely. I just felt refreshed. Like, I haven't even been playing the whole season, so I don't know how it must feel for you, the likes of yourself, but even the last couple of weeks being in camp, it is hard mentally and physically. So to be able to switch off and go and enjoy something so I knew that day I was going to recover my body really well, and then in the evening I was going to recover my mind really well. So just giving myself that ability to really switch off and just focus on things that I really enjoy doing. I love going and being in open water. I love sauna, and sleep as well. I think it's really important. I actually love bedtime, and that sounds so lame, but I love getting into bed and going to sleep. Sometimes it's one of the most things I look forward to throughout the whole day, especially when it gets 7 p.m. I'm like, I think I want to go to bed now. But I feel like I can't. But I have being in camp, sometimes it is hard. The beds aren't super duper comfy, but I think if you have a really good routine, I don't think it really matters. So I think I've spoken before, I sleep with an eye mask and earplugs in. So wherever I am, I feel like I'm at home because I have that ability to put my eye mask on, earplugs in, can't hear anything, can't see anything. I could be in the middle of the ocean and not know, because I've got that thing that helps me sleep. And I think for me, that's really important. Sleep's always been a really big thing for me. And I think over the weekend you were able to refresh on it, because I do, these beds behind us are really comfy, but they're not what your bed is at home.
It's a hotel bed, and we change hotels a lot of the time, so that change, it does take time to adjust. In contrast, I don't like sleep. I actually...
You want the day to continue?
Yeah, I just, sometimes when I go to bed, I think, I just wish I could just clip my fingers and it'd be tomorrow now. Wow. And I think, I go through periods of finding it hard going to sleep, and then going to sleep a little bit too late, but also finding the balance of, knowing that sleep is so vital to recovery and it sets you up for the next day. I actually sometimes have thought of going to sleep. I'm like, no, I either don't want it to be the end of today or I want it to be tomorrow right now.
Did you ever not think, like, when you were younger, like, if I go to sleep now, when the next time I wake up will be the next day? Did you never think that, like, sleep?
And I still think that now. Like, sometimes when I'm like, I can't wait for tomorrow, like, I want it to be tomorrow now, I think, okay, well, if I go to sleep really, really early, then it'll feel like
when Santa Claus comes. Like, when you're asleep and you're like, well, the next time I wake up, there's going to be presents under my tree and there's going to be a stocking under my bed. I need to go to sleep now, otherwise Santa's not going to come.
Let's go on to the next section, favourite section. Plenty of them in this week's. Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions. Listeners' questions. Yeah,
That was
a good one.
That was a good one.
Mia asks, best and worst thing about being in camp.
I think one of the best things is being around all my best friends.
She ain't got no friends outside the camp.
It's true. But being around loads of great people, and I think that extends into being around some great rugby players as well, and the ability to be able to be challenged and challenge yourself every single day in all walks of life, whether that's the conversations you have or the way that you play on the pitch, is definitely one of my favourite things. I think one of my worst things about being in camp is not being able to cook for myself. And we're blessed and grateful to have great food at hotels, but I also really like having the ability to choose what I want to eat and putting time into cooking, and that sometimes I do miss, definitely.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with the best thing is being around like so many of my friends, and just enjoying every day with them. Like, and I don't think you ever really get like bored as such or like lonely because there's always someone around, which I think is really nice. And then my worst thing probably is that I do miss Archie and Alfie. I think that's probably quite lame, but
no, it's not lame.
Like, I think like that's my normal, and I think when you come into camp, it that good old saying like distance makes the heart grow fonder. So I think it's nice, like, because I feel like it sometimes makes me feel like we're still fresh in our relationship even though we're 6 years in. Do you know what I mean? But we actually have the opportunity on some days to like go home. So for instance, today we're recording on Wednesday. I'm going to go home after this and see the dog. Unsure if I'll see Arch after work, but that's probably one of the worst things about it.
No, I completely understand, and like it's a challenging environment in relationships, whether that's friendships with your parents, family, or in a relationship with your girlfriend or boyfriend, because like you said, like no one can probably understand unless you're in it, that someone goes away for 6 weeks and then comes back and you're trying to have a catch up, but it feels fresh. Whereas, the norm would be a 9-to-5 job. You both go out during the day, you both come back in the evening. But what we do is so unique to the outside world that it's good that you can really take those times and not take them for granted.
Yeah,
so when
definitely.
you are with them, it's really special because you don't know, like the next time you go away, it might be for a week, might be for 2 weeks.
Yeah. So. I'm also a very bad communicator. So like I am rubbish at texting. Pick up the phone, I will answer. But like I love to be in like face to face with someone, and like, one of my maybe bad things is that I do talk at people, but I just want people to know what like I've done or like my whole day, and Arch sometimes doesn't always appreciate it, but like I just have so much to tell him and I'm like so excited, and he's obviously so tired from work. He's like, yeah, okay.
Catherine has asked, if you were to be designing England's alternative kit, what colour would you make it?
Oh, this is such a good question.
I like the black.
Yeah.
It's boring, but I do like the black.
So I can't remember what year it was, and I don't know if you were in it, but basically there was a Sevens jersey, an England Sevens jersey that kind of looked a bit similar to our background that we're in now. So it was like diamonds and they were all like multicolored. It was a black shirt, but then the diamonds were multicolored, and it was probably my favorite shirt I think I've ever worn. It just was bright, it was fun, but then the base of it was black, which is slimming and classy and like elite. So that's probably where I would go down. I'd go like black base, with some like colour, maybe some, if we really want to go into detail, I'd have like some thorns that were like grey, and then like it would go into like a rose which would be really bright but on the black background. That's something that I would like do.
Yeah, I mean, I like I've initially said I like the black. I think, like you said, it's really classy.
You like the red though, don't you?
I did like the red, but if I was to be designing my own, I'd go black. But then I also think, similar to you, I'd have like designs within it, whether it be thorns, whether it just be like accents of colour, and that would probably be red. Just coming through the shirt in different places. Because I wouldn't, when we got the kit, the home kit a couple of years ago, which was different to the men's home kit, and it had a different meaning, and we, it was the Red Roses kit. That was really nice. That deeper thought had been put into something that was different to the men's, because they had thought into theirs for a different reason. But yeah, I do like the black, and I do like the accents. Make it like, when you see it, you see it. When you understand it, you understand it. It just,
and I think when you see it closer, you then like see more,
you
like
appreciate it more.
No, it's a good question. I like it.
So loads of people have asked this next one, so we need to talk through hour by hour prep on like a Red Roses match day.
Wake up feeling like it's Monday. Looks like
firstly
one of those rough days.
Firstly, I think it looks different from person to person.
Yeah, you go yours.
Fine. Wake up, wash my hair.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Well, we're going into right detail. Okay, that's fine.
Wash my hair,
hour by hour.
I don't go get my hair parted.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
So wake up. Wash
what
my
time
hair.
is the kickoff? Sorry, what we said.
Let's say 3:00.
Okay, fine. Go. Yeah.
Wash my hair, and then go down and get some breakfast. For me, game days all fuel, so I'll probably just have like Weetabix, not a lot of milk. It's just all carbs at that point. Grab a coffee, and then we have like prep with the team, prep and prime, where you just limber up a little bit. There's some music going on, some stretches, go into a bit of like backs and forwards. We do a bit of hand-eye coordination, usually with cricket bats. And then we just have like another little meeting, and then we have lunch and stuff after. A bit of a team walkthrough as well, and then go to lunch after. Do your own thing, probably check my bag another 3 times, make sure my hair's looking good another 3 times, and then it's straight into the game. Playing music the whole time as well.
Yeah, so mine is kind of a little bit different, very similar. So yeah, wake up probably around like 9. 9:30, yeah. Go down for breakfast, have some brekkie. I personally like to get my hair plaited as late as possible. So like if we're playing a club game, my hair will get plaited in the changing room as everyone's getting ready to then go out for the warm up. Like that's when I like to get mine done. So Lark Atkin Davis, love her to bits, is a fantastic platter. So she always puts up a timesheet for people to get their hair plaited, but will always text me saying, don't worry, I'll do yours in like the pre-match meal, which is like the last thing before like the team meeting. So yeah, go to breakfast, and then if we're near somewhere, like go get a coffee, and then just chill out, pack my bag, have some more food, like very relaxed, and then yeah, go into the prep and prime meetings, hair done, and get on the bus. Me and Zoe Harrison do sit in the same place on the bus, which I think a lot of people do. We've started to also take a little selfie and send it to Archie every time we're on the bus, which is really cute. I
also get my phone calls in. I'll call my mum and dad, and just make sure that I've connected with them, because once we get to the game, sometimes we have to hand our phones in, which I think is like a World Rugby thing. Sometimes we don't. I think it just depends on what tournament's coming out. I don't know if World Cup's like that, but we have done that in the past. So just make sure I get my phone calls in, speak to mum and dad, and like connect with them, because I know from that point I'm probably not going to be on my phone. So just, it's an opportunity that I can tell them how I'm feeling, anything that I want to get off my chest, but also they can obviously send their look. Most of the time they're in the car on the way by that time, but it's a nice time to be able to do that.
Yeah, agreed.
Often as well, my mum can tell me her opinion on my hair. She's like, oh, your hair looks nice today. I'm like, yes, perfect.
Cute. Hetty has asked for tips on the slick back.
Well,
please.
you have claimed this as being your
No,
talent,
I think we both are very. Me and Ellie have very different hair, obviously.
obviously.
So I think it's different for both of us. But I think maybe we'll just do like one tip.
Yeah.
I think my tip is real greasy hair, like as in not real greasy, but don't. If you've just washed your hair, then doing it the next day, I think is like not good, because you then have to put more gel and hairspray in, and you've just washed your hair, so then you're gonna have to wash your hair that night or the next day. So you might as well do it when it's like, oh, I need to wash my hair, or whatever. So that would be my best advice. And okay, quickly another one, don't like overthink it. I think the more that you think about it, the less it will actually work.
Yeah. So for mine, my hair doesn't really get greasy, but something that I found really helps is finding like a really good brush. So I know obviously there's those like skinny like loads of thistles,
Yeah.
what are they called?
Yeah.
Loads of little things coming off of it. They're good, but I've found that it's better to get one that's like a round-headed, soft brush, because it just gets everything in all at the same time, and that has kind of been that, and good gel has been the thing that's probably saved my slick back a lot of the times, because I get flyaways all the time. Good question though.
Yeah.
So Teddy has asked if we saw the tackle by Maddie Levi in the weekend, the try saving tackle. Yes, it has been posted all over my Instagram, and I'm not surprised that it has, because it was pretty incredible. I don't quite know how she did that. I think she was probably a little bit surprised herself.
I agree.
But you know, she's an incredible athlete. I think we've spoken on her before, but she's an incredible athlete, and you know, when she does things like that, I'm not terribly surprised.
Yeah.
But the technique was fantastic, and she managed to get the ball. And I think by that point, depending on how far she'd had to run to chase them down, I'd be thinking, shit, I've got to run now. I really didn't want to.
I think, if you haven't seen it, obviously head over to the HSBC7's Instagram. It's all over that as well. But yeah, I just think it's something that, well, obviously no one's never seen before. I mean, and she achieved something else in that tournament, which was like the fastest ever person to score 200 tries. So she had a pretty outstanding tournament, or she is a pretty outstanding player. So it was definitely, when I watched it, I was like, huh? I was like, how did that? I thought there was like another ball that just got put in, but no, it was pretty sick, to be fair. Cool. Very, very good. Tom asked Ellie, phone or DSLR photography?
DSLR. That's like when you take on your camera. Definitely the DSLR. I just tell you the thing with like iPhones, and I'm not getting that iPhone, because you know what I mean. If you want to sponsor this podcast, more than welcome. But I really don't like that when you take a photo on your phone, it then puts that stupid like alters the lighting, and it really, really annoys me, because you think something looks good, you take a picture and then it changes it. Whereas on my camera, I'm just getting exactly what I shoot.
The raw,
the rawness. And also, like, the quality on phones are brilliant nowadays, but it's almost like I appreciate the photo more, because it takes more effort to like focus and take the photo, and then I've got to download it. So I'm more picky with them, as opposed to just like bursting photos on my phone and then probably never looking at them again. Cameron has asked, do you have a bucket list? And if so, what's the wildest thing on there? I'd love to go to the Burning Man festival. I don't know much about it, but you know, we've just spoken about like taking photos. I think the photos would be so sick there.
Wildest? I don't know. Like, I want to see the Great Barrier Reef before it potentially isn't there anymore because of global warming and people not recycling, killing the polar bears. But that's for another podcast.
Would you jump out of a plane?
Yeah.
See, I'd jump out of a plane just to say I've done it.
Yeah. I think there's so many things that I want to do just to be like, done that.
Yeah, you didn't do the New Zealand bungee jump, did you?
No, that was
that was stupid. Well, I did a bungee jump in New Zealand after the final.
But that's not something that like excites me. Like, bungee
jumping out of a plane does.
Yeah, it does.
Honestly, when I did it, I was like, I just want to say I've done it. I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't jump off of a bridge again. But I've done it now because it was so exhilarating. And when I got to the bottom, I was like, as if I just did that. Then that was probably one that was on that bucket list. Same with the jumping out of the plane.
Yeah,
I'd do it and then I'd be like,
no, not again. Yeah. Fiona asked, best match day fit for a spectator.
Oh,
obviously a cowboy hat.
Yeah, obviously, firstly.
Obviously.
But I also just think, like, anything, just wear whatever you feel comfortable in. Get dressed up as well. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't have to be something that's so practical, you know. Obviously, you need to keep yourself warm and stuff, but we like seeing people putting effort into the fits. Obviously, people love getting photos of that as well.
I love seeing people's fit checks for coming to a game. So, like, if you're potentially going to be in Ireland this weekend or in Leicester next weekend, like,
put them up.
Like we want tag us in them. We want to see them. Like, I just love to see what other people are wearing, what they think is like cool, and like how you like style it. I just really like seeing it.
Yeah, and I always, you know, liken it to, I love NBA when people get in their like best dress to sit and watch the basketball, and I'd love to see that in rugby. Like, people put in, everyone puts in effort, but like putting in like more thought of, actually, I want to wear a really sick fit for this, because I think it'll grow the game in different places as well.
Definitely.
Elaine has a message to say that Jess, Ellie, and Abby appear to be telepathic as a back three unit. How has that developed in training?
A lot of time,
yeah,
and not effort, because that sounds like it's like work, but it is like it's taken a lot of time, understanding to get to where we are. And like the other, you know, like likes of Mia, Claudia, and singers, like we're all the same, like, and I think we've just had longer time to actually have that connection, like me, Ellie, and Abby, and
more opportunities. And like, I guess, you know, we've been pretty consistent playing wise in terms of how much time we've had together, because we do, I think, when we've got loads of talented players, and a lot of the back three are very, very talented players, and things will seem telepathic because we're very good athletes, but also we do put a lot of time in training. So whether it is me, Jess, and Abby, or if it's Abby, singers, and Mia, I don't doubt that people will think, oh, really, they're really telepathic. 'Cause it's not just from the games, but also we do put a lot of time in training. We do have honest conversations, and we're wanting to learn all the time. I just think that as a unit, we've played a lot of games together, but also we've been in for such a long time. You know, we've had the vulnerable conversations when things haven't gone quite right, and we've learned from them. But, you know, we're in a bit of a sweet spot at the moment where we're challenging each other still. We're still getting things wrong. You know, there's times that it's not telepathic and you think, oh God, we were all on different pages then. But we're really in a space where we want to learn. We know what it feels like when we are on the same page. And, you know, the ref might ruin it for us and call a massive forward pass, which wasn't a forward pass in my opinion, but that would be a telepathic time that we were all on the same page. But yeah, there's going to be plenty more of that, whoever is on the pitch, and people will be saying, oh, everyone seems telepathic as a Red Roses group, because we're all, you know, aiming for the same thing. We're putting a lot of work in behind the scenes, not just on the pitch, to get to that point where, you know, we're connected. It's not just about communication. It's we can all anticipate each other, and I think that's a space that we're definitely moving into.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Frankie asked, one rugby stereotype that you hate and one that you agree with.
One that I hate is that to play rugby you've got to look a certain way or act a certain way. And, you know, you get lots of comments about being manly, being aggressive. You know, you've got to be bigger. You've got to be much stronger. And I just hate that, because, you know, rugby is seriously for all shapes and sizes, and individuals can play a brand of rugby that works for them no matter what they look like. So I definitely hate that, because I just think it's the wrong narrative. And if you actually look at us as individuals within the Red Roses and take a bit of time to understand us, you quickly disagree with everything that you may have thought in the past.
Yeah, no, I agree. What I hate is that your sexuality is assumed, and that not you get questioned by it, but it's like oh, you must be, or you can't be. And I just think that, like, why does it matter? Like, why does it always get brought up in a conversation?
That's not something that makes you better.
No, it doesn't.
It's just what people do.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, sometimes Like, it's just like, why do you have to put a label on all of us?
And I think it's the same in, different sports as well. Like,
Yeah.
let's say male dancers, people assume and stereotype male dancers and their sexuality or whatever it may be. And I just think that that's something that needs to be definitely changed, because it doesn't make someone a better dancer, worse dancer, a better rugby player, worse rugby player. And I'm sure there's so many other sports out there, but sexuality is something that you don't even need to think about. It does not affect you unless you're wanting to get with them. It does not affect you. I just think keep to the sport and how well they're doing in the sport, and the rest of it is their business anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I agree. One thing I agree with.
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
That's a tough question.
Because I think and this is not me trying to be a negative person, but I think all our stereotypes are quite negative.
And I also don't think that even if it was a positive stereotype, it wouldn't come across as a stereotype as such. Because we're all so individual, we're so unique
But maybe that's positive. Maybe that's like something that we agree with.
Yeah.
That the stereotype is so different that like that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the one that we agree with. Yeah. Pollyanna has asked Ellie, what's your skincare routine? Because your skin always looks so smooth and glowing.
Well, thank you firstly for that, because that has made me smile. Whenever someone says something about skincare, I'm like, you just make me blush a little bit. But for me, I use Paula's Choice. I've only been using it for the past few months or whatever, but I'm not really strict to it. Just make sure I wash my face twice a day, got a micro exfoliant and a toner. And something for me is that, we're outside a lot of the time.
Wear your SPF.
Wear your SPF, yes, but also make sure your skin's hydrated.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a dry girly, and I've got to make sure my skin is always hydrated. But yeah, just, drink water, eat fruit, and just stick to one routine.
You can tell she really cares about it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like having nice skin. I don't eat a load of junk food or like ruin my skin. I don't wear a lot of makeup, so there's nothing really ever on my skin. But no, I appreciate the question. And
yeah, cheers. Next time I'll make sure my skin's glowing.
Go back to fix gym, that's what it is.
Yeah, Jesus, sorry.
Colo Pops has asked overpack or underpack for camp. Mine used to be overpack, but now underpack because I like going out and buying stuff and I need the room in my bag.
I reckon I wear the same. I just keep the same stuff in my bag all the time for camp. Like, doesn't really
overpacking.
Yeah,
I never regret underpacking.
I think there'll be stuff in my bag that I haven't worn this week.
Yeah,
and that I'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's also our suitcases are massive, and we're always on the second floor, and you've always got to lug it around everywhere. So underpack, so you can take a little duffel and you can walk around and not have to lug anything, because it's so frustrating.
But brilliant questions, guys. We've really, really enjoyed that. And now we're going to move on to the quiz.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, so quiz time. It is myself versus Jess, and it's a stats head-to-head from every Six Nations since 2020.
Oh.
Okay, first question. Who has played the most minutes in Six Nations since the 2020 tournament? I think me.
I think you, yeah. Ellie.
I think
Ellie.
And the answer is you.
Shut up.
So Jess has played 1,474 minutes, and I have played 1,082 minutes.
Buzzing.
Wow, fair play.
Who has scored the most tries?
Now I'm overthinking it because he's run more minutes. They only started scoring last year. So.
I reckon you.
I think you.
No, I think you.
We both think each other, so the answer to this question is...
Ellie has scored 17 and I have scored 14.
To be fair, probably 3 of those I should have passed you anyway.
Yeah, probably. So Ellie's minute to try ratio is definitely better than mine. Yay.
Go me. Who has the most try assists? I think you, to be fair.
Oh, I think it might be, but it should be you.
Yeah, it should be me, but I think it's you.
Oh, I don't know though.
Because you've set me up a few times. I think more times than I've set you up. Yes.
Yeah, me. 8!
8?
I've got 8 try assists where Ellie's got 3. Selfish. You
2020.
you selfish little girl.
3 try assists in 2020. Wow. God, I need to start passing. I can't be right. That can't be right. 3? You joking? Who has the most carries? Let me guess.
You.
Probably me.
Yeah. 100% Ellie.
Yeah, probably me. I'm the extra number, so I'm on both sides.
Obviously, yeah.
I'd be surprised. If
Sorry,
it was more.
the drum roll. Ellie has 169 carries, and I have 117.
It's not. I mean, it's not as big as the gap as I thought it was gonna be. It's not that size.
Yeah, no, yeah.
A game. In it. No. 2
No.
games.
What? 3 probably. Sorry.
Who has made the most meters?
Ellie.
Yeah, because I've also had the most carries.
Yeah. So it should.
Yeah, it should be me.
Should be.
It should be me.
Yeah.
So I've made 1,440 meters, and Jess has made 950. Still very good. Again, if you put this in ratio, it's probably quite equal.
Yeah, maybe.
I reckon so.
Who has beaten the most defenders?
I think you.
No.
I think you.
No. I reckon you.
We're going to argue. I think Jess thinks it's me. Oh, yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
So I've beaten 73 and Jess has beaten 32. But again, I've carried more.
Yeah, so you should.
I should be beating more people.
Yeah.
Who has made the most line breaks? Jess. I think that's you. I don't make that many line breaks.
Yeah, but if you are beating more people, you should.
No, that's not
a line break.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's you. I do think it's you.
I'll go with myself then, but it's embarrassing if it's not, and I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is. So Jess has made 27 line breaks and I've made 24.
Yeah. Who has the best tackle evasion?
Sorry, we both giggled because when we first read this, we thought it was who's made the best tackle.
Or like tackle dominance, but obviously that's not going to be one of our stats.
And if that's one of the questions, we're probably not going to answer.
No. You.
Yeah.
If you've beaten the most,
more,
beaten more people, then surely you've had a best tackle evasion. Yeah, Ellie 44%, Jess
pretty
35%. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Who's made the most offloads?
Oh. Well, if I've got the most assists, but assists don't count as offloads, I reckon you.
It's probably when I've thought I should pass.
Yeah.
I've not passed. I'm going to try to get the ball away.
Yeah. I think Ellie.
I probably got the most unsuccessful offloads as well, where I've just thrown the ball.
It is. Oh!
Wow. Okay.
Offload queen.
Okay.
Sorry if you can't tell, it was me. I have had 16 offloads and Ellie has had 8.
Wow. That's impressive.
Buzzing. I wonder if any of them have been out the back.
What?
Yeah, probably not. Yay! One of our favourites to finish it off. This is the last question. Who has made the most tackles?
I think you. I'd hope it's not me. If I'm back there, I'm hoping it's not me. Because that means people in the front are missing the tackles.
I think the question should have been who has missed the most tackles.
I also think you'll make more on like kick sprint to tackle.
Yeah, maybe.
As well.
I don't know actually. I don't know.
I'd say you. Cold, yours.
Yeah. Ooh, drum roll. Yeah, me. I have made 55 tackles and Ellie has made 47 tackles. Wow.
And we've actually just got some the most important stat in. I won the quiz. So I got 6 right. Jess got 5 right. Let us know how you guys did listening at home. We'd be very much interested to see if you're better than 6.
I also don't think it was very competitive, the quiz, but it's fine.
It wasn't. It was more of a conversation.
Yeah, it was more of a conversation, but it's fine. There's always a winner, so it's fine.
Ellie was a loser.
Yeah, me. But it's the first quiz you've won.
Yeah, it is. No,
so,
to be fair.
It's a bit embarrassing for
Who's
you,
won
really.
the most quizzes? Jess.
Me. that was a really good quiz. We've really enjoyed it. We hope you enjoy it at home if you're playing along. But we would really like to say a big thanks to Opta again for all these stats. It really helps us prepare our brief for the show, and it really gives us an in-depth dive into stats and figures from the Women's Six Nations.
Emmy's Passmore, that's what I've got from that. And Emmy's Tacklemore, apparently.
Well, what another fantastic episode. Thank you. Well, if I do say so myself, but you're not new. Well, you can keep that in because our producer found that funny too. But yeah, thank you all for listening. And yeah, we've still obviously got 3 games after the Six Nations: Ireland in Cork, Scotland in Leicester, and then the big Le Crunch in Allianz Stadium. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to us here on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, our YouTube, and TikTok for all the updates. But for now, yeehaw!